Hello and welcome back to my channel. I'm Xeno, the personification of a cry for help, and today we are here with the Curious Case of Route 19. Now, this is actually one of my mutual's visual novels that they worked on for the May My Wolf Game Jam. So I am so excited and so curious to see what they have cooking up for this. Now, this game does contain trigger warnings when you first boot it up. This game does depict graphic, gory images, explicit sexual content and nudity, discussions of SA, flashing images, and scenes that some may find distressing. Yes, I am rated off of the itchio page because I need at least an acre for me to get all the words out. Because do you know how many takes it took me to read all that? Shit. I'll be leaving my mutual Rhettoe Ravens socials in the description below if you want to support them, and also support this game if you want to download it for yourself, only if you're 18 and up. With that being said, let's get started. Corvus presents. I'm so curious. What is he gonna throw at me? Hi. The fox rots. A trail of rusty red seeps into the dry dirt as his guts spill from a hole in his stomach. His pale eyes sink into his skull, forever paralyzed in an expression of horror. I don't need to bury him. The desert is already taking him. A damn shame. He really was cute. I turn around and start my way back to the road, though part of me can still feel him behind me, watching me. Ooh, I love the music in this. What? The Curious Case of Route 19. Got it. San Diego, California. How the hell do you write beginnings? The beginning of a story is always the hardest part to write, because you know what's going to happen in the story, but how do you get there? I don't know. Maybe I should take some time off. But I gotta get a book written someday. Someday. It doesn't have to be today, or this month, or even this year. Just sometime. Okay, good. He's home. Ooh, Julian. Okay, what voice should I give Julian? I'll give him like Theo's voice. Hey, babe. I turn around in my chair to face the wolf. Hey, honey bunches. Still glued to your desk? Hey, the story's developing. Can't really say I've written anything yet. He walks over to the desk and I turn back around, slightly embarrassed at my mess of notes. I try to shuffle the notes to look somewhat organized, but he's already leaning over me. I feel his soft hands on my shoulders. I feel his eyes on the mostly empty document and avert my gaze, even though he's not looking at me. Just barely on the first chapter? Hey, like I said, the story's developing. He kisses the top of my head. Then he leans further down and wraps his hands around me in a full embrace. I try to return the hug from this awkward position, reaching behind and above me to hold his arms. Missed you. It's been like 6 hours. Still in the hug, the wolf rests his head up top of mine. Working emails for 6 hours is so boring. At least you don't have to try coming up with beginnings. I feel him looking back down on my messy desk. I mean... His hands then venture further down. If you wanted to, you could just get right to the entrance and stuff. He gently squeezes my pecs. ... Ouch! Fuck! Given one Whoa! Oh, whoa! Given one last hard thrust, I put my seat into the wolf, feeling adrenaline fade as a warm fire runs through my veins. Fuck. The wolf is left spazzing underneath me, cum blended into his already white fur. We're getting right into this! My arms give in and I collapse into him. Cum pours from his ass, licking onto the bed sheets. Wow. We lay there, basking in the afterglow. He lifts his arm up to put his hand behind his head, and I take the chance to stuff my nose into his armpit, inhaling his musk. We are already getting into it. Damn. Right now, at this moment, it's just us. Julian stirs a bit. Whoa, he's packing. So, I have to ask you something. Oh? Curious, I take my nose out of his armpit, instead resting my head on his soft chest. Yeah, what's up? I licked a string of seed off his nipple, making him shudder. Oh, I'm not entirely sure how to word this. Huh, now I'm really curious. Do I need to squeeze it out of you? I tease him by brushing my teeth over his nipple, making him squirm again. Nope, He takes a deep breath, and my head rises and falls with his chest. Do you want to go on a road trip? Oh? Road trip? Like, where to? I was thinking, it's been a while since I've seen my family up in Utah. Modest little town called Logan, about an hour and a half north of Salt Lake City. I'm sure they want to see me after so long. Huh. Utah. Are you sure you want to bring me along? Wouldn't this be a bit more, I don't know, personal? I'm sure they would love to meet you. Are they, you know? Oh no, they're cool, don't worry about that. Just being safe. When would we leave? I was thinking sometime in May. I'll talk to my manager to see if I can get some time off. What do you say? ... I admit I could use some time off. And driving through nature with Julian. I'd only been dating him for about 9 months, but I will say have a strong relationship so far. I'd love to spend some time alone with him. How could I say no? His chest falls again as he gives a relieved exhale, taking my head along with it. Thanks, babe. You're the best. I know. We kiss. I face the window, looking out into the night sky. I feel myself drift away, exhausted from our intense lovemaking. Damn. Black. Dark. A void. Nothing to see, nothing to hear. Nothing to feel, or smell, or taste. Nothing to sense. I can't even feel my own body. Not a single nerve dares to be stimulated. What's that? There, in the distance, a dot, a spot of light, flickering far away. There's a light there, piercing the darkness. But it's so far away, and I can't move. How do I get there? Be careful. Of what? We're going on a road trip, we're going on a road trip, going on a road trip. Woo, woo, woo. Day 1. Damn, it's hot. The sun beats down on us through the windshield, the air conditioner working overtime to just barely cool us off. Meanwhile, the interstate stretches on and on ahead of us. Even when we cruise at a good 60 miles per hour, it just keeps moving towards the horizon. If it weren't for the passing natural landmarks of the desert, I would feel like we were going nowhere. And then, of course, we hit several bouts of traffic with insanely long lines of semis slowing us down for minutes. At one point, I counted a whole hour where we were not moving. Who knew there was this much traffic out in the desert? Well, it's the interstate. That's just how they are. Semis gotta take their products across the entire country, and the interstates made their job easier. As we sit there, I sink further into my seat and rest my feet on the dashboard so they're soaking in the grueling sun instead of my face. Julian's phone had died about an hour ago, and I really didn't want to sacrifice my phone battery while we were in the middle of our drive to play music. Plus, we'll need at least one phone to be alive. So, unfortunately for both of us, we're now just listening to ye old country stations that his radio managed to pick up. I would listen to them if I was a scruffy old straight guy. You really should have left your phone charging all night. I did. That phone drains easily. You sure you don't want to use yours to play something? As much as I want to blast the lady at max volume, I'm afraid we need to preserve the battery life on the one phone left alive. Fair, I could just sing. No, Julian, don't! I could play the daughter, I could... Oh god. Ugh. I sink even further into my seat, covering my ears in a futile attempt to block out his off-tune belting. God, don't give us a copyright strike. Sorry, babe. He finally relents and we fall into silence again. I considered taking my phone out so I could ward off the boredom. I'm craving some crow assassin. Nope, gotta save power. I peeked over the dashboard. Still got infinite interstate ahead of us. An endless string of cars moving both ways at the speed of slugs. You know, I just so happen to know a road where we can move more quickly. That catches my attention, so I perk up. Oh? Yeah, whenever my family and I would drive down to California, we would take that road. Parrots call it the scenic route. I'm honestly tired, so I just don't really care what we take to get there. Alrighty then. You know what you're doing? Of course! We'll stop for gas and food first, then it'll be after that. Oh, and while we get gas, we gotta get a charging cord too. Oh yes, can't let me do all the singing, can't we? Please, God, no. He laughs and we continue inching down the infinite road. Hours later, we get back into Julian's newly fueled car, the wolf gladly plugging the new charger cord into the dashboard. Thank the gods for this gift from the heavens. When his phone turns back on, we both breathe a sigh of relief. About time. Now we can let the lady do all the singing. Ha ha. The first thing he does is turn on one of her songs, and indeed a blast from the radio. Yours! We get back onto the road, bumping the lady's music for respite, which feels like a stark contrast to the almost empty desert landscape surrounding us. The sun inches closer to the horizon, painting the barren land with a vivid orange glow. I forgot how beautiful the desert is at sunset. Yeah, just wait till you see the road we're driving down. I honestly forgot about that. Guess I was tired. Oh yeah? We getting close? Yep, any minute now. We continue driving down the interstate, thankfully moving at a good speed. I look out the window in anticipation, watching the golden earth pass by. Here! Julian makes his way towards the next exit and eventually we're cruising off the interstate. I don't really know about this one, Chief. The road narrows down, and soon enough we're driving down a 2-lane road. I'm surprised by the contrast between this road and the interstate. While the interstate was crowded, here I don't see a single car, probably for good reason. I look to the side and search for any sign indicating what this road is. Eventually, I do see a sign pass by, rusty and with chipped paint, but with words visible enough for me to make out. Route 19? Yep, this will take us right to Logan. Wow, it's quite narrow though. Yeah, it's kind of a secret back road. Interstate goes all the way up to Alberta in Canada, and this road just barely goes into Ohio, so it kind of got shoved off to the side. Well, this road is certainly more peaceful than the interstate. Clearly got neglected by the state though, because we keep hitting potholes. I don't really notice though, because I feel myself drifting off. Why? You better avoid those potholes before you get flat. The glowing orange desert is certainly hypnotic. Might as well close my eyes for a bit. Be careful. We're gonna get flat, aren't we? Xander! Suddenly, I'm wide awake. We're still on the road. Oh, fuck, how long was I out? Like 40 minutes? Oh, it's, dark? The sky is now a dark purple. A line of orange spans the horizon to our left. We drive under a rock arch, and I wish it was light again so I could see it better. I yawn, my eyes still heavy despite the rest. Julian seems to notice my tiredness. Yeah, we should probably stop for the night soon. First motel we find, we'll sleep there. Sounds good to me. I just hope there won't be too many hits there. Like, this is the definition of the middle of nowhere. But hey, at least we're cruising easily down a gentle slope, despite all the potholes. We passed by a bus stop that has definitely seen better days. Covered in graffiti and cracks, it's probably not even in use anymore. In the dark, I can't make out any of the words, but I can see the swastika graffiti onto the side, of course. Ugh. We really are in hit country. After another half hour or so of driving through the middle of nowhere on the never-ending road, we see a distant light straight ahead of us. I hold my hopes for now, in case it's something else. As the light gradually gets close enough so I can focus on it, I start to make out its features. It's a sign for a motel. Huh, sweet. I look over to Julian. I can see fatigue in his eyes. I guess spending several hours on the road does that to you. But I also noticed something else. He looks fucking traumatized. He's stiff, hands gripping the steering wheel, eyes staring straight ahead without blinking. He also seems to be holding his breath, only letting out short, shallow exhales every now and then. You okay? Hmm? He snapped out of his strange trance and looks at me. You, seem a little tense. It takes him a second to process what I just said. Oh, I'm okay. I'm just tired is all. Yeah, fair. Well, sleep is almost here. I gesture to the motel again, ever closer to us. Yes. After stepping out of the car, I take a minute to give myself a good needed stretch. I think I hear my spine pop for the first time in my life as I arch my back. Is my ass relieved. Yeah, same here. We walk over to reception, run by a rough-looking older mouse with a distant gaze. Hi, just a single bedroom, please. The mouse lifts us up and down through her dusty half-moon glasses. After a little, she reaches behind her to grab a key off the roll and hands it to Julian. Great, thanks! We hastily start walking to our room. I hear the receptionist mutter a slur I've heard many times under her breath. Well, she seems jolly. Oh yeah, loves the days too. Oh, haha. I only see like one other person in the parking lot on our way to the room. I glance over and see about 4 cars in the lot, including Julian's. Is this place really that out there? Here we are, room 3. He unlocks the door and we walk inside. Unsurprisingly, the room is completely dark when we open the door. I glance inside, and on the opposite wall I see a window. I can't tell if it's inside or outside, but there's a figure standing there in the dark. It's alone, so it's not Julian's or my shadow. I only see it for like a second until Julian turns the light on. Ah! And then I just see an empty room with a queen-size bed in the middle and a desk on the opposite side. Christ, if I have an episode on this trip, I swear to God. I did bring my meds, right? Well, the lighting is a little shoddy and dim, and this room isn't the cleanest, but hey, it's only for a night. Alrighty then, I will, go get the suitcases. Sounds good. I respond as I drop my bag on the side of the bed facing the door, still a little wary of the window. You all good? Yep. Julian nods as he walks out the room, back into the warm, dry night. I stretch my arms up and give another sigh of relief. Hubba bubba. I take my shirt off, almost having to peel it off because of the sweat. Now I miss San Diego's cool ocean breeze. I toss my shirt onto the floor, which probably isn't a good idea, and flop down onto the bed. Oh good, at least it's somewhat soft. Fuck, I could use some sleep. And yet, part of me feels restless. It could be because I never really sleep well in hotels. But I can feel eyes on the back of my head. I know I was just seeing stuff, but I turn around to look at the window just to be sure. Yep, nothing there. For good measure, I look around the room, at the corners and areas where the light doesn't quite reach, making sure there isn't anything hiding there. Yep, I'm all alone. Pff, I'm crazy. For no particular reason, I get up and head over to the bathroom. After taking a quick piss, I lean over the sink and rinse my face. I guess my fur just feels kinda sticky. Even though I'm tired, I would rather it feel clear. The cold water feels good on my face after that long drive in the sun. Okay, how am I, Coyote? I can't handle really hot environments. I almost never go outside during the summer, lest I get assaulted by the sun and swarms of bugs. Yet, Julian loves the heat, and he looks like he was built for the fucking Arctic. Julian. Built. I imagine my wolf's arms bulging as he carries those suitcases, even though they're not that heavy, and he's likely just dragging them. Still, I soon find myself with my crotch pressed against the counter. Christ, I haven't jerked off for like days. Should I just relieve myself here? Or maybe he'll be in the mood. It's worth a shot. I unbuckled my pants and let them slide down my legs so I'm left standing in just my underwear. Almost naked, I opened the bathroom door and leaned against the frame, patiently looking at the door. Just seconds later, Julian comes back into the room, dragging both our suitcases behind him. Predictably, he immediately notices my bare body in seductive pose. Oh, hey, I see someone's in the mood. I decided to tease him a little. Only if you are. I then turn around and slowly inch towards the bed, making sure he sees my ass through the tight underwear. He closes the door behind him, never turning away from me. I notice the tent in his pants. Yeah, he's definitely in the mood. Score! I bring my hands to my hips, slipping the thumbs under the waistband. I tilt down a little, giving him a little peek of my ass. I peer seductively over my shoulder, and I see him eagerly watching the show I'm giving him, hand approaching his crotch. Alrighty then. And then I slip the last piece of clothing off my body, letting it fall to the floor. The wolf looks at my now fully nude body longingly, hungrily. God, you're pretty. Well then, come here, you. He starts to slowly strip himself. Soon enough, he pulls his own underwear down, letting his already erect cock swing free. Hot dog. Oh, He then approaches me and hugs me from behind, feeling up my body. He squeezes my pants and I can feel his dick grinding against my ass. Man, you really want it, don't you? Oh, you have no idea. He turns me around and shoves his tongue into my mouth. Wrapping my arms around him, I lean into his kiss, letting our tongues wrap around one another in a messy rhythmic dance. Our erections grind against one another, and Julian even thrusts at one point. We both need this. I decide it's time to kick this up another notch, so I break away from his deep kiss and let myself drop onto the bed. I lift my legs and spread them, inviting the wolf to its next course. Julian grabs my legs and spreads them further apart, leaning down to lap of my hole. I appreciate any kind of moisture in this desert, and that includes his saliva on my asshole. I arch my back as a wave of pleasure rolls over me. The wolf continues to rib me, savoring my flavor and musk, even sticking his whole tongue in at one point. You did bring lube, right? He then pulls his tongue out, and immediately my hole is desperate for attention again. Oh, of course I did. Yeah, despite what all that porn shows, you spit and get lube. Damn, when you put it like that. But yeah, I get it. He walks over to the suitcases still by the door, and I miss the attention already. After a bit of digging, he pulls out a bottle of lube and pumps some onto his fingers. He lifts up his fingers to make sure I know he's got the lube. When I nod at him, he starts lathering it around my asshole, and I'm surprised about how cool it feels. It's a welcome surprise after this incredibly hot day, though. He sticks his fingers inside my hole and twirls them around. He curls his fingers to massage on my sweet spots. Alrighty, hon. You feeling condom or raw tonight? Whichever means you don't have to leave me again. Raw it is, then. After lathering up some more lube on his shaft, he leans over me on the bed, cock poking against my needy hole. I nod at him to go on, and he wastes no time. Oh damn, we did a CG! I woke up the familiar feeling of his dick in my ass. It's certainly a feeling I've been missing, even if the last time we had sex was 3 days ago. The initial burning pain subsides after just a few seconds, and that's when Julian starts slowly thrusting into me. He starts gently, letting his member massage my prostate as he slides in and out. He leans further down so our heads are right next to each other. Our lips meet again for another intimate kiss as we become driven by our carnal desires. Damn, you really want it, don't you? Oh, he's in that kind of mood. Alright, I'll entertain him. I just give him small, albeit faint, whimpers and nod. Then he stops thrusting and intentionally places his dick in a spot where it threatens to leave my body. Then let me hear you beg for it. Ah, this old thing. I've known him long enough that I know exactly what he wants. Please. Anybody can pick up my immediately poor acting, but if it satisfies Julian's kink, then the quality of my performance really doesn't matter. Please. Please what? Breed me. Alright then. He starts thrusting again, slowly at first, then gradually becoming more defined and rhythmic. This music makes it so unsettling though. Eventually, we picked up the pace even further, and I'm left slinking my head over the side of the bed, body stretched out as the wolf continues to thrust even harder. He slams into my perfect spot, and the bed soon starts joining in on his thrusts, squeaking every time he pulls out and slams back in. The smell of man lingers strongly in the air, and I savor it as he continues thrusting balls deep into me, pulverizing my prostate. I swear I even see an outline of his dick bulging through my stomach at one point. And that's where I lose myself. I lean as far back as I can, head practically hitting off the side of the bed, arching my back and moaning as Julian gives one last hard thrust. Damn! Fire rages through my body as it stretches to its limits. Thick strain after thick strain after thick strain of cum erupts from my dick, painting my body in a messy cream color. Seeing the mess I've become seems to have been enough to drive the wolf over the edge too, because I'll soon hear him moan as well. I feel his cock twitching violently as my insides wrap tightly around it, milking it for every large drop of cum stored in his juicy plums. Soon there's no more thrusting, the only sounds in the motel room being our heavy breathing. Damn! We stare into each other's eyes and inhale each other's breath. The entire world freezes on this single point in time, and it's just Julian and me. Julian pulls out and I can feel a seed draining from my well-used hole. Nice. Thanks. He leans down for another kiss, one that's more affectionate than horny. Then he drops on top of me and practically rolls to my side. Guess I really had to get that out of me, huh? Yeah. I guess a whole day of driving does that to you. I, didn't hurt you, did I? He asks that same question every time he tops me. It's honestly kind of cute until it gets annoying. Don't worry, big guy, you did great. I like calling him big guy, even if he's only like 2 inches taller than me. Big guy could also refer to his log. Thanks. The wolf's voice is rife with fatigue. I guess we did burn a lot of energy after that long day of doing the energy drain activity of driving our car through the desert under a hot sun in the middle of May. Add rough sets to that, and I'm surprised we haven't dropped dead. Fuck, I'm so tired I don't think I'll even shift in the bed to make myself more comfortable. Julian will probably do that for me. But for now, I feel myself low in the sleep. You're not gonna wash off? The stress of a long day of traveling in the afterglow should be enough to ensure I get a good sleep tonight. You're not gonna wash off? As long as I ignore the bisected girl watching me from the corner of the sail. Okay! Well, he did say he has meds. Wonder which ones, though. I'm back in that void. I've occasionally had dreams of this void since April, since the night Julian first proposed the trip to me. But now something about it feels more vivid. Even if it's just a whole lot of nothing, it feels more like I'm actually there, drifting through nothing, my ability to move powered only by inertia. The light is there again. And there's the light again. In front of me, far away. But something's different about it. Every few seconds the light flickers. It shines in front of me, and then for an instant, it's not. Like a light bulb ran out of light, or the power in your house during a major storm. I have a theory. A game theory! Maybe if I could just focus really hard on that light, maybe. Maybe what? Then in the silent void, I hear a distant moan. A sort of wailing that echoes in the same way a sound would in a cave. I turn my head to the side, in the direction of the sound, on the off chance that I will see something in this space of pitch black. Wait, turn my head. I can move? Let me try something. I try to speak, but the movement and voice feel foreign to me. Why did I struggle so much to say that? Just trying to say a word as simple as hello puts so much strain on my jaw muscles. And my voice is raspy, slurring like I'm dehydrated? Or I just learned how to speak. My throat hurts, and I can feel dirt caked up on the inside of my mouth. I can feel my mouth baited for nourishment. Where am I? How can I feel so much? Oh, another wail. I once again attempt to look for the source of the sound, but there's nothing to see in this void except for the light on death's door. It's a scream of pain, a cry for help. Who? I still cannot speak. I have no voice here. How do I... The light struggles to shine, threatening to leave me in complete darkness. Be careful. I feel something behind me. Oh, nope. I saw the eyes. Shut the fuck up. Day 2! I give a loud snort as I jolt awake. I'm woken up even more by the sunshine directly into the room, lined up like a photo with the exposure turned all the way up. Well, at least no shadows can stalk me this way. I sit up and realize I'm still naked, and I was laying normally on the bed, head on a pillow near the headboard. I guess Julian did adjust me. Speaking of whom, where is he? The bed is empty to my side, and I don't see the wolf anywhere in the room. And then I hear the shower running. Look at silly old me being paranoid. I lay back down for a bit, listening peacefully to the white noise of the shower. Man, I did fall asleep just listening to the sound of the shower running. It tickles my ears and gives me comfort in a way only it can. But then soon enough that sound stops. I guess every shower has to end eventually. Sometime later, Julian emerges from the bathroom, towel wrapped around his waist. I feel the warm moisture emerging from the bathroom alongside him. Oh, morning, babe. The sun refracts off the water droplets sticking to his white fur, making his body glow in its own light source. It's an enchanted sight. I can't peel my eyes away from him. You like the view? I broke it out of my chance by the sound of his voice. Fuck, I was staring. I don't think he minds. Oh yeah, you're glowing. He looks down and notices the sunlight bouncing off his fur. Oh, yeah, I guess so. Well, shower's ready if you need it. Oh yeah, I should probably do that. In fact, I feel dirty. Okay. I get up again and immediately notice the cum stain on the bedsheets. Shit. Julian follows my gaze and notices the result of our messy lovemaking last night. Oh, yeah, poor housekeeping. I'll take care of it, you go shower. He smiles gently at me. It's a smile that I've seen pretty much every day for the 9 months I've been dating this man. It's a pretty smile, one of reassurance, even in instances where it's not exactly genuine. I nod at him and move my naked body over to the bathroom. Even though we were only outside a few times for the few minutes yesterday, it feels like dirt is clinging insistently to my fur. I was hoping a good shower would get that dirty feeling off me. But even as the comforting hot water runs down my body, and I use the shampoo and body wash provided by the motel, I still feel as if something is sticking to my body. And it's not the semen from last night. It's like an inch I can never scratch. Soon I leave the bathroom feeling neither cleaner nor dirtier. And we're back on the road. Okay, thank God none of the tires got slashed. Thank God no one tried to break into the room. Oh God. After a bleak breakfast at the motel, we're on the road again. Time to just watch the desert landscape go by for several hours again. Speaking of the landscape, now that I can actually see them, I noticed a little something about the mountains. They surround us in what looks like a circle. The land around us gradually rising towards the mountains in the distance. There aren't any other mountains or tall hills or dunes standing in the way of those mountain views. It's like the mountains just dip down to a certain point. Are we in a crater of some kind? Nice! We drive for a while, driven by no real notable signs. This crater is surprisingly large. The mountains marking the edges look close enough, but they only seem to move farther away when we approach them. Actually, you know what? I don't have much to do. I might as well mull over story ideas. I turn my phone on, earbuds still nestled in my ears, and I turn on the soundtrack to some recent movie Julie and I loved. Ooh? Environmental soundtracks like these always help me focus when I'm trying to be productive. Something about them makes me feel like I'm storing my own story. While I may look like I'm staring blankly into the desert listening to music, inside the gears and cogs of my brain are working expeditiously to figure out how I'm going to execute this thing. So the story I'm writing is some kind of religious horror. It's about a person who devotes himself to the god of their land in turmoil so they can become their disciple and bring salvation to their lands. Except their idea of salvation is corrupt, and the more they devote themselves to this divine being, they drive themselves further away from the community they claim to be helping. It definitely takes a lot of inspiration from Legend of Malvis Corvus, so if I get this thing published, I just hope no one will see it as a ripoff or fanfic. Because while both stories have similar premises, they explore different themes. My story is admittedly more simple, just exploring the dangers of devoting oneself fully to religion. Meanwhile, Malvis Corvus discusses exploitation of religion for the sake of political power as just one of its themes. I also want to explore in my story the possible effects that areas rife with supernatural activity can have on residents of the mortal realm. How would a haunted place mess with the synapses of its residents' brains? I think it's a cool idea and I want to explore it. I just gotta figure out how I'm going to incorporate that into the overall story. I'm excited to see this story come to life. I just actually gotta write it. That's so me for real. That's so me. He is me and I am him. Oh! I remembered out of my trance the instant I see something in the corner of my eye. The only detail I could pick up in that split second was that it was a rusty orange chip of some kind. I focused my eye on the desert I'm beholding, looking for wherever it was I saw. I looked behind me, but I just see miles upon miles of desert. And then the disappointing reality that we're still in the middle of nowhere hits me. You good? Well, if I'm going to be in the middle of nowhere, at least it's with a man like Julian. I take out one of my earbuds and pause my music so he knows I'm acknowledging him. I'm dealing with the optical illusion right now. Because it looks like this picture's moving in my eyes. Holy shit. Oh, yeah, just thought I saw something. It was nothing. Okay. We keep on driving and I keep on listening to music, though the mood is gone. Something about that shape I saw unsettles me. Even though I only saw it for a split second, it burns itself into my memory and vision like an after image. Don't be an episode, please. Sometime later, and it's high noon. The sun may be above us, but I can still feel his rays piercing through the windows, making me feel like I'm inside an oven despite the air conditioners doing their absolute damnedest. I feel my stomach grumble. Oh boy, am I hungry. The motel breakfast really wasn't good. I didn't eat very much. I hope we find a gas station in town soon so we can eat. Oh, we'll speak to the devil. I see several small houses ahead of us. We approach the town, and I look around for a restaurant or even a sign with the town name. I glance over at Julian. But something feels off about him. He's just staring, straight ahead, seemingly unaware of his own surroundings. He's not even blinking. Jesus, this drive is really doing a number on him, isn't it? I don't mind for now, so I just keep looking around. Can you not drive, Xander? Can you not take the rail in his place? Eventually, I do find a sign giving the town name. Craterville, Utah. Oh shit, we're in Utah? Sweet. Man, I could really use some food. Hey, you think we could stop here, find some... My words stripped away as I looked back at Julian. He hasn't even budged. He just stays there, still as a statue. Eyes focusing hard on the road ahead of us. Hands white-knuckling the wheel. I put him back to reality. Julian? Huh? He finally blinks and looks at me. We'll get food at the gas station. There's one just outside the crater. Okay. I think I can wait another hour. As you drive through Craterville, I look longingly at the little diners that passes by. Wondering why Julian wants to stay this place. I'm looking this up. Okay, so it's not a real place. Got it. This town has seen better days, clearly. The buildings, wooden and brick, are decaying, leaving corpses of houses to dot the barren deserts. The few people I see walking around are above the age of 50, if I had to guess. I see very few cars on the road, and the ones I do see are from as late as probably the 2000s. I honestly wouldn't be surprised if any young people who grew up in this pit up and left. Soon I noticed a graffiti message on a large old brick wall. What does it say? When the devil returns to Craterville, the souls of the damned shall drag him away and seal him in the deepest pits of hell. Please don't let that be foreshadowing. The hell? Julian looks over to my side and sees the message for a second before passing. Did something happen here or something? Something about the devil returning? He shrugs. I don't know. Could just be religious nuts. Now I'm curious. I'm gonna look this place up, just like I did a few seconds ago. Julian flinches at that. You sure about that? Yeah, why? Is it a problem? Well, He stammers for a bit. Maybe something bad happened here and that would just kinda insensitive, you know? I mean, I have to see where he's coming from. But I don't even know what happened here, and I need to satiate my curiosity. And just the wolf's wishes, I turned my phone on and typed Craterville, Utah into a web browser, just like I did a few seconds ago. And there's no internet. So I'm just left looking at a blank gray screen as my phone fails to pull up results. Maybe later. What? No. What does it say? Be careful. Okay, got it. So I just resort back to my music that I thankfully downloaded onto my phone. And then I drove back to watching the desert go by. Try my best to keep my patience as I wait for our next stop. Some more time later, I see we're approaching the end of the crater. Whew, about time. The road slants upwards as we approach the mountains. By the time we reach the edge, I see a natural arch graciously arching over the road. I can see the red and orange layers of millennia worth of sediment building up to create this wonder. Wow. Pretty, ain't it? Yeah, very. I'll pull my phone out and go to the camera. I aim the phone ahead of us, trying to get a good angle of the arch. When we get close enough, I take several pictures. Alright, hopefully one of those is good. Look down at my phone to look through the photos as we drive underneath the arch. They all look clear enough to me, at least when I looked at them for like 2 seconds. After concluding that the photos I took were good enough, I turned my focus back to the desert just so I could lose focus again. Soon the road starts slanting down again. Huh. Hopefully that gas station Julian mentioned is coming up soon. But all I see is more road and more desert. Hey, didn't you say there was a gas station right around the crater? Julian looks confused, like he was just dropped in an unfamiliar location. Either that or a distortion of a familiar location. I did. I guess it's a little later. It's been years since I've been down here, so... I'm more disappointed in his response than I really should be. but I hope we find a gas station soon. I need some food. And a bathroom. For now, all I can do is wait. I spy with my little eye a desert road. And more desert and road. And more desert and road. Just desert and road for miles upon miles upon miles. After what feels like hours, I finally see something on the side of the road that even slightly resembles a building. But I'm only disappointed to see that it's a dilapidated bus stop. Looking closer, I see the wall of the bus stop covered in graffiti. Among the graffiti is a large swastika and the words, "Oliver Crow is a faggot," referring very tastefully to the man who was our president until this January. Happy Pride! Whoever put those there must be a very lovely person, and I think they'll be happy to know that our current president would gladly wear that fucking symbol of hatred on a red armband. In fact, I would be surprised if he took away the stars on the US flag and put the swastika in the blue rectangle. That or his own name. God, I fucking hate these people. I really shouldn't be thinking too hard on this. Yeah, whoever put that godforsaken symbol there is clearly a brain-dead moron, but I've never met them. And even if I did, they would probably shout slurs at me and shoot me before I could even attempt to be civil with them. That's too real, honestly. That's way too real. Happy Pride, everyone! The bus stop is far behind us, so I might as well let it go. No point in getting all mopey over a Nazi symbol on the random bus stop in the middle of nowhere. It might just be my patience of not having food or a bathroom combined with my disappointment and anticipation of there possibly being a rest stop in this barren wasteland. And seeing that symbol as a reminder that I live in a country currently being run by people who want to exterminate people like me and Julian simply because of who we are attracted to. Fun! Okay, it's been too long. My bladder needs a break. Julian, pull over. I need a piss. What? Oh, shit. Thankfully, he picks up on my urgency right away and stops the car. He doesn't bother getting off the road because we're the only ones here. I practically fell out of the car and stumbled for a bit before unzipping my fly. Normally, I hate the idea of pissing outside. Or pissing standing up. Yeah, I'm one of those weirdos who prefers to piss sitting down. But now I just don't care. This is a true emergency. I whip my dick out and just let loose. I feel immense relief as pressure is relieved from my groin. I hear another stream near me. I guess Julian had to go too. Now that my bowels are finally relieved, I am now able to focus on my surroundings. It's oddly cool for a desert in the middle of May. Is this normal? Another thing, the mountains are distant and they surround us in what looks like a circle. Are we in another crater? Is there another one right next to the one we were just in? Does that just happen? I turn to Julian, who just finished his own stream. Yo, are we in another crater? It looks like it. I don't remember there being two craters, though. Also, your data's out. Huh? Oh, I guess it is. I correct that little lapse in memory. That's kind of weird. Are you sure you know this road? Yeah, I do. I guess it's just been years. You sure you know what you're doing? Yes, I do! Okay, sorry, I'm just wondering, no need to snap. Julian gives a heavy sigh, seemingly collecting himself. I take the time to breathe a little too. I hate raising my voice. No, sorry. This was a mistake. We shouldn't have done this trip. Well, hey now, don't say that. I walked up to him and placed my hands on his shoulders, making sure he faces me. We're gonna see your family, right? You said they're cool? Besides, we're already in Utah, right? So Lotus just gotta be a few more hours away. Oh, and we both took a week off work to take this trip, so we really shouldn't waste it now, should we? The wolf looks away, avoiding eye contact with me. There's a kind of deep humming echoing throughout the desert. I feel a rumbling in my chest. It's almost like the earth itself is singing. Or like a choir of bass is singing the lowest possible note they can hit. Julian hesitates. Yeah, I guess so. Great! So, shall we? He smiles at me. Sure, babe. He leans in for a kiss. Sorry for snapping. That's no biggie. He's such a softie, it's honestly kinda cute. We head back to the car and continue our drive through the infinite desert. Just more road. More time later, and something finally appears in front of us. A building. Oh, good, signs of civilization. But when we get close enough to pass it, I realize it's just a motel. Pfft, I may be hungry, but I wouldn't even touch motel food again after this morning. But hey, hopefully that means we're getting close to another town. And soon enough, there it is. Perhaps we'll actually get some food here. Is it the same town? As the buildings get closer, I see that they're mostly run down. Some of these houses on the outskirts have probably been abandoned for years. That seems to be the norm with this desert. I looked around for a sign giving the town a name, and soon I spot a faded stone sign. Craterville, Utah. They're back in the fucking town! No. Oh no, I'm scared. Craterville, Utah? What the? I looked to Julian as if he'll have any answers. He's shaking. He holds the wheel so tightly I swear it's going to crack. And he stares ahead, unblinking, eyes so wide that they look like they're about to pop out. Julian? What? He's just barely pulled out of his trance at the sound of my voice. He tries his best to put on a calm facade, but it's as cracked as the buildings here. Did we get turned around somehow? I look back and I see the wall with that same graffiti message. When the devil returns to Craterville, the souls of the damned shall drag him away and seal him in the deepest pits of hell. I don't know, apparently we did. I don't know what's happening. Did we get lost somehow? On this road? That literally goes in only two directions, forward and backward? This is frying my brain. The hunger is not helping. Okay, you know what? Let's just stop here and get some food and figure... No, we'll get food at the next gas station. I'm surprised and a little frightened by his son yelling. Jesus fuck, man, what is your problem? I just don't want to eat here. Why? There's like plenty of restaurants here. Have you seen this place? I'm not good with old people, especially when there are no younger people around. And besides, I saw wanted posters for a serial killer. Clearly this place isn't safe. He's trying and failing to catch his breaths. He better get his shit together or else he's going to veer off the side of the road. Okay, but we know nothing about that killer. For all we know, they could have been dead for 30 years, you know? Also, this fundamentalist here, that graffiti looked fresh. Now that I think about it, that purple the words were sprayed in did look fairly vibrant. Faded, but not from decades of exposure to the desert. Okay, but even still, I don't think we're going to run into the fucking Raven Man here, okay? So just calm the fuck down, let's just get some food. No, we'll eat at the next gas station we see. End of discussion. I laugh in both astonishment and disbelief. Oh my god, we're gonna fucking starve because you're afraid of a few hits. Ah! I barely have time to think as Julian swirls off to the side. I didn't even get to read that last sentence. Holy shit! I only see the person standing in front of us for a split second. But in that split second, I see what looks like picture straight ropes dangling from their stomach. Julian swerves so far off course that we actually drive off the road. Oh fuck! The road was bumpy enough with all the potholes, and now, with all the exposed rock, we did jumble up and down and hear scraping against the bottom of the car as Julian tries to get back on the road. Shit, goddamn fuck! Meanwhile, I look back in an attempt to find that person again. But I just see an empty desert. My insides are going to feel like a pile of scrambled puzzle pieces after this. And then it suddenly feels like we're gliding. Or at least on a surface less bumpy than the literal desert floor. Julian stops the car immediately after we're back on the road. We take a minute to collect our breaths and regain equilibrium. As soon as I feel like I process enough, I stumble out of the car. Xander! I step out into the unnaturally cold desert and look around me in every direction. I look for anybody, anything even resembling a person. But there's nothing. Just miles upon miles of empty desert. Xander! I snap back to reality and realize Julian has just stepped out as well. What the fuck was that? Some dumbass stepped onto the road, but forget that, are you okay? Yeah, but where are they? I gesture to the large, empty crater around us. Julian looks around, seemingly looking for the person too. You saw it? I look at him. A person in the road? Yeah, I saw them. All of a sudden, Julian's demeanor completely changes. He freezes up and looks at me wide-eyed. I just see his fur standing on end. Is he scared of me? Julian? Huh? Are you okay? He sighs and looks down. Yeah, sorry. I guess I'm just on edge. I mean, yeah, so am I. I'm also starving. So, how about this? Let's just keep driving. And at the first sign of food, we stop. No matter what, okay? A flash of frustration flickers on Julian's face before withering away into resignation. He looks down at the dehydrated earth again. Yeah, okay. I'm sorry. Okay, let's go. I walked back to the car, patting his shoulder along the way, in an effort to let him know that I still care and I'm still with him. I looked around the basin again, desperately searching for any semblance of a person, just so I could tell myself I'm not having an episode. Oh god. My stomach feels like a void. I feel it grumbling like a volcano ready to erupt. The hunger soon spreads through my entire body, and I feel the gas build up in my chest to create a pain that makes me feel like I'm on the verge of a heart attack. And here we are, driving for hours through the desert. We're finally in the portion of the crater where the road slants upwards, beckoning us towards the mountains. The sun is lower in the sky, inching ever closer to the horizon, painting the desert a more vibrant orange. And yet, this desert still feels dead. When we approach the mountains, I see another natural arch arching over the road. Another gateway. I hope this portal will take us out of this godforsaken alien wasteland void of any life. It was probably just a few minutes, but it feels like years have passed when we finally passed under the arch. But, just like last time, there's no gas station. No sign of life, and therefore no sign of food. In fact, the road begins to slant down again, and I immediately recognized the circle of mountains sloping down. I groan in frustration. What the fuck is happening? Julian doesn't respond, staying silent and staring at the road. But I can tell he's having his own breakdown inside. Are we in another fucking crater? Julian doesn't answer again. Instead, he just stomps on the gas pedal. Soon we're speeding down the road, and I see even more desert whip by. I don't care for breaking any road laws. There aren't any cops here who can stop us. Or anybody that can stop us. I just don't bother focusing on the desert anymore. And I just don't care what happens as long as I get food in my stomach. You're gonna be back in Craterville, aren't you? The sky darkens, replacing oranges with blues and deep purples, the mountains casting their shadows over this hellscape of a crater. Are we in hell? Soon enough, I see familiar structures pass by, even for a few seconds. A dilapidated bus stop with a graffiti swastika and a homophobic message. A motel. And soon enough a town. Because of the speed we're going, we get there quickly. And it's the same fucking town. Fuck. Craterville, Utah. Yes, where the devil chose of Craterville. Be careful. Or does it say be gone? Oh no, it says be careful. Julian thankfully slows down when we were on the town proper, but he still seems to be in a rush to get out. Julian, let's stop and eat here. We're moving past. You promised! He looks at me with a fury I can't even begin to describe. I can see the flames in his eyes. I storm with how much my torso is grumbling. At this point, it feels like my stomach has had enough of waiting and is now eating away at me from inside to sate its hunger. I look at Julian and I make sure he knows I'm begging. Please! After seconds of damning silence, the wolf grumbles. Fine. Finally, he breaks away from Route 19 and finds a fast food restaurant on the outskirts of town. Okay, this game is 22,000 words. I don't know how many words I read so far, but I'm gonna save this for a next part. Now, this game is, ooh, it's interesting. I can see the inspiration it takes from Arches. I can see that. But I also love how it's completely its own thing and everything. Also, we got right into the sex at the very start. Like, damn. But yeah, I'm gonna be splitting this into another part. Hopefully it's not gonna be like the Ditchin where I didn't realize how long my second act was gonna be and split it to 2 videos. So hopefully it won't be like that. But I am loving the story so far. And also the fact that they keep coming back to this fucking town is actually quite insane. I have a feeling, oh god, I have a feeling they might be used as some type of devil worship. That's my theory. Because I keep seeing when the devil arrives in Craterville, they're probably gonna be sacrifices or something. I have no idea. I'm so curious about what's with that fox guy with his entrails poking out. What's going on with him? But anyway, thank you all so much for clicking on this video. If you enjoyed watching this, you can give it a like and subscribe if you're really interested. I'll leave a link to the game in the description below, as well as the creators' handles and socials if you want to support them. Just be warned, obviously this game is 18 up, so anyone who is over the age of 18 should play this. No one under should play this. I'll even leave links to my Twitter and Blue Sky in the description below if you want to support me on those platforms. And as always, I'll leave a link to the visual novel I made with my dear friends at the Red Panda for the February game jam titled When You Are Mine. Please do show your support to it, and if you do like it, if you could please give it a rating and comment it on itchio. We love reading those, it really does make our day. And as always, thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!